The iPhone 14 Pro Max is one of Apple's top-notch phones. It has a shiny metal frame and a smooth glass back and front. The front glass is super strong and can handle some drops. The phone has speaker and mic grills on the bottom and the lightning port that won't go away. The design is very Apple-like and cool. It can handle dust and water too. The iPhone 14 Pro Max has a big 6.7-inch screen with 120 Hz that looks amazing. It's an OLED screen with a super sharp resolution, and it shows colors really well. The other thing is how bright the screen can get. It can go up to 1000 nits normally, but if you're outside in the sun, it can crank up to 2000 nits. That means you can see everything clearly even on the brightest days. Everything feels bigger and better on the iPhone 14 Pro Max. Playing games, checking Twitter, watching YouTube, browsing the web, you name it. One thing I really dig is the dynamic island. It's a black bar at the top of the screen that replaces the old notch. It sounds silly, but it's actually super cool and makes me wonder what else Apple can do with it. The iPhone 14 Pro Max is a great performer, as you would expect from an iPhone. It has the new A16 Bionic chip, which is faster and more efficient than the previous models. The A16 chip can handle any app or game you want to use, and it also has 6 GB of RAM for smooth multitasking. Apple's cameras have been awesome for a while, and the iPhone 14 Pro Max makes them even better. Apple finally upgraded to a 48-megapixel main camera with a big aperture and sensor shift stabilization. That means you can use it as a 2x zoom lens too. There is also a 12-megapixel telephoto camera for 3x zoom and a 12-megapixel ultra-wide camera. The selfie camera is also 12 megapixel, and it can autofocus for the first time on an iPhone. And that's not all. The iPhone 14 Pro Max has a new photonic engine that makes the colors and textures look amazing in low light. The main camera takes stunning photos in any light. The colors are vibrant, the details are sharp, and the blur is natural. The ultra-wide camera is also awesome. It lets you capture more of the scene without losing quality. It doesn't make things look distorted at the edges, which is nice. And the best part is the macro mode. It automatically turns on when you get close to something. The 12-megapixel telephoto camera has been a pleasant surprise. It may not seem as impressive as the 30x and 100x zoom on a Galaxy S22 Ultra, but it works very well. It lets you zoom in 3x and capture your subject with great detail and color. This device has a 4,323 mAh battery. The iPhone 14 Pro Max is a great choice for anyone who loves a big screen. The cameras are amazing, especially for video. You can capture smooth action shots and cinematic effects with ease. The battery life is also impressive, lasting longer than most phones. The Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra aims to elevate smartphone photography with its massive 200-megapixel camera and various upgrades. When looking at the design, a few things stand out. The rear cameras are larger compared to the previous Galaxy S22 Ultra, and the display is flatter, which makes using the S Pen more comfortable. Some may prefer a completely flat design, but the slight curve adds a premium feel. The Galaxy S23 Ultra is designed to be more durable, featuring Corning's Gorilla Glass Victus 2 for better protection against scratches and drops. The smartphone boasts one of the best displays on the market, with vibrant colors and excellent performance. It features a 6.8-inch QHD OLED screen with a peak brightness of 1050 nits and 120 Hz refresh rate. The image quality is impressive, even in direct sunlight, making it an excellent canvas for showcasing photos and videos. The S23 Ultra's camera system offers powerful capabilities with a 3x and 10x telephoto lens, an ultra-wide lens, and a remarkable 200-megapixel main camera. It excels in zoom photography, capturing astonishing detail even at long distances. The 200-megapixel mode provides incredible detail, but sacrifices some dynamic range. Samsung's portrait mode is among the best, delivering excellent subject isolation and fine detail retention. The phone supports video recording at up to 8K at 30 FPS, providing good color and detail in well-lit conditions. Under the hood, the S23 Ultra is powered by Qualcomm's Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 chipset, optimized for Galaxy. It offers impressive speed and multitasking performance, with options for 8 GB or 12 GB of RAM. The phone runs cooler than its predecessor, making gaming smoother. The Galaxy S23 Ultra continues the tradition of the S Pen stylus embedded within the device. In summary, the Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra is a rewarding experience for those with patience and deep pockets. The Google Pixel 7 Pro has a cool design that's not just about looking fancy, but also being tough. It's got this camera strip that makes it stand out in a crowd. But here's the catch: that shiny finish can be a magnet for fingerprints. However, it's not a deal breaker. You've got a choice of colors, and I'd recommend the hazel shade. It's a nice change from the usual white and black. And hey, it's water resistant with an IP68 rating. Plus, the display is scratch resistant, thanks to Corning Gorilla Glass Victus. The 6.7-inch LTPO OLED display is a visual treat. It's incredibly sharp, and the 120Hz refresh rate ensures smooth navigation and immersive gaming experiences. This display can go toe-to-toe with its competitors, even in bright sunlight, making it a delight for outdoor use. Adaptive brightness does a fantastic job of automatically adjusting to the environment. The Google Tensor G2 chipset powers this device. It may not have the latest and greatest CPU cores, but it excels in the graphics department. This chipset is finely tuned for Google's specific AI tasks. The phone feels snappy, and it can handle multitasking like a champ, thanks to a solid 12 GB of RAM at all storage levels. In everyday use, it's a winner. The camera setup on the Pixel 7 Pro is impressive. It boasts a 50-megapixel main camera, a 48-megapixel 5x zoom lens, and a 12-megapixel ultra-wide macro lens. The main camera is a true workhorse, delivering excellent photos in a variety of settings. Whether you're taking basic snapshots or capturing portraits in low light, this phone doesn't disappoint. Selfies turn out great too. The camera software is where Google shines. Top Shot captures the best moments, and manual controls are easy to use. The Real Tone feature keeps your photos looking great. It's not just about taking pics, it's about making the whole photo experience better. The Pixel 7 Pro's battery life is solid. It'll easily last you a full day, no worries there. It's not a record breaker, but it's dependable. Charging is decently quick, and you can get to 50% in about 30 minutes. It comes with a 5,000 milliampere battery. If you want a phone that's great for everyday use, with a focus on photography and user-friendliness, the Pixel 7 Pro is the one. It might not have all the flash on paper, but it's a champ in real life.